Hi, it's Guy Kawasaki, and I am a Mercedes-Benz brand ambassador. And today we're in Redwood City, and we're going to do a special engineering geared walk around and tour of an E300 4matic. This is the latest, greatest, state-of-the-art of Mercedes with all the autonomous or semi-autonomous good stuff. So I have a trainer, product manager, engineering expert, and he's gonna truly tell you how this all works, because frankly it's kind of amazing. So this is Lucas, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi there.
So Lucas, tell us what's going on in this car. Like, how does it do what it does?
Okay, so this car has our newest product, Drive Pilot, which is like a 0 to 130 miles per hour semi-automated driver assistance feature. So basically it'll maintain distance from cars ahead of you and try to keep you in the lane, both using lane markers and other cars and objects on the road to orient itself. So to do that, we have an intelligent drive controller which processes all of the signals from 5 radars and our front forward-facing stereo camera. So in the front, behind the star, we have a long-range radar sensor that sees about 250 meters ahead. It can see under cars, it can detect walking pedestrians off of their radar signature, and that information about the distance from objects is fused with information from our stereo camera behind the mirror.
Okay, so we have a radar here.
Yeah.
And this thing is a camera?
So this small camera above the radome is used for the surround view for Parking Pilot.
Okay. And what did you say is at the rear view?
Yeah, so then up here we have a stereo camera. So this is basically acts as a single camera, but it basically can see like your eyes, so we get depth off of other objects on the road.
Okay.
So we can see pedestrians, other cars, objects, and then we can also see speed limits, and we can apply speed limit signs using fused data from the map and from the camera to try to make sure that the speed limit is shown correctly. And then if you elect to do so with Speed Limit Pilot, you can adapt your speed to the speed limit of the road when Distronic Drive Pilot is engaged.
Okay. What other cameras are on this car?
Okay, so complementing surround view, we also have cameras right here under the side view mirrors, and then another camera tucked under by the license plate.
By the license plate?
Yeah, and it's actually, when the car's parked, retracted kind of just right here, and it drops down when it's needed.
Okay, so I've noticed that when I'm backing up, I have a bird's eye view.
Yeah.
Right? And so that kind of boggles my mind, because obviously, unless Mercedes is a satellite looking down at my car,
Exactly.
how are you building this bird's eye view?
Yeah, so the images from these 4 cameras are stitched together because we know their locations and we know how far they are from the ground. So basically they're all put together into that surround view image you see in the head unit.
Okay. And give me, like, I've used the Distronic already, and tell me if I'm using it right. So let's say I'm in fairly heavy traffic.
Yeah.
There are spurts where it's going 50, but most of the time it's 25. So I set Distronic to 50, and I just let it do its thing, and it constantly keeps me at this safe distance from the car in front. If the car slows down, I slow down. I'm not doing anything. If it stops and I stop, then what happens?
Yeah, so once you stop, we have like a 3-second timer. So if the car ahead of you takes off within 3 seconds, we think it's safe to resume. And there we're not only checking that front radar and the front camera, but we also use the parking sensors in the bumper to make sure that, say, pedestrians or animals haven't walked in front of the car, so we don't go over them.
Okay.
So this timer is there in effect so that we know that you're still paying attention to the road and you haven't been distracted while you're stopped.
Okay, so now I'm driving along, and I know I'm the driver, I'm responsible, I'm supposed to be in control at all points, I understand that. But let's say I'm driving along, I have Distronic set, and I'm at this, regulated distance, and boom, the car in front of me slams on the brakes.
Yeah.
Okay, so will the system slam on the brakes?
Yeah, so
faster than I will?
Yeah, so there's 2 systems that would be working at the same time there. So Distronic will immediately, when it sees a difference in their acceleration rate, will immediately hit the brakes. And if Distronic braking isn't strong enough, we have collision mitigation braking that can use the full braking power of the car to bring you to a stop. Say if you were unable to take over because you fainted or something like this, the car is able to try to do full braking to avoid an accident.
Okay. And what if it sees me veering off because I'm falling asleep or something?
Okay, so even if Drive Pilot isn't engaged, we still have active lane keep assist. So this system on a solid line above about 40 miles per hour will use the brakes on the other side of the car to try to yank you back in. And we also pay attention to other cars in other lanes. So even if a lane is dashed, but we know that there's a car that you could hit if you cross this dash lane, we'll still do a braking event to try to pull you back into the lane there.
Okay. I read about it, so will you explain all the stuff that happens for pre-safe? Like, the car knows I'm going to get a collision. What does it do? So
in events where the radar sensors or the stability control have determined that an accident is likely, basically the pre-safe interface is opened. So in this, there's a lot of steps. So in a forward collision, we're activating our seat belts. The bolsters of the seat come in to try to hug you to keep you from moving. The windows could move, just close a little bit. The seat position can be changed. In a rear accident, so if our radar sensors detect that you're going to be rear-ended, we do all of those steps, and we also lock the brakes so that you're not pushed into the car ahead of you, or at least that you're not pushed too far ahead. So then we also have pre-safe sound. So this basically puts pink noise through the speakers to try to pull the muscles in your ear to protect your inner ear. We also have pre-safe impulse side. So this is sort of an active safety technology, but really it's trying to protect the occupant in an accident that we can't prevent. So if we sense using the front corner radars that a car is coming at you with sufficient speed, we have airbags inside one side of each front seat, and we can activate these, and they move your body in about 2 inches so that there's more space between the exterior of the car and you, so that you're as safe as we can make you.
Okay. So, do you know how many lines of code are in this car?
I have no idea. No idea. I mean, there's loads of controllers and buses, and they're all talking.
All right. So, is this car more a computer or a car at this point?
To my point of view, it's more computer.
Okay.
Yeah.
All righty. So, to summarize, how many cameras are on the outside?
Let's see. Basically 5.
5 cameras. Yeah. How much radar?
We got 5 radars, 1 at each corner and 1 behind the star in the front.
Okay.
We've got 12 ultrasonic parking sensors that like we said, we also use.
Speaking of parking,
Yeah.
So I turn on Distronic, and then I press the button in the console, and it looks for space, and then it takes over.
Yeah. So we can demonstrate this to you, but we use these side-facing ultrasonic sensors to see curbs and other cars. And we can do forward, reverse, parallel, or perpendicular parking, like in a parking lot like this. And we can also do parallel parking and pull you out of the spot after you've left your restaurant or whatever. If it's a hard spot to get out of, you can hit the Park Pilot button again, and it will do the exit from the parking space.
Even though I'm not sitting in the car?
No, so in the U.S. you have to be sitting in the car.
Okay.
We do have remote Park Pilot that we hope to bring to the U.S. soon. And that basically allows you to do all of those same parking maneuvers from outside the car.
So the use case there is, my apartment unit has such a small space that I can't open the door.
Exactly, yeah. So if you have a garage door where, say, you'd had to park so that nobody could get out on one side, or you're always like ramming your door into things on the side, you could be outside your car, activate your app. You have to be constantly involved watching the car, and the car will just come right on out. Or if there's a spot that's really small, as long as it's recognized the spot, you can activate the parking maneuver from outside.
So those of you who are watching, send us questions right now if you have any questions. Also, tell us, where are you?
Yeah, so we're here in Mountain View, yeah?
Well, no, we're in Redwood City, but
Redwood City.
Okay, so there's a question about active lane assist. So what is that?
Yeah. Okay, so when you have Drive Pilot engaged and you're on a freeway, like a closed motorway, if you're going above 50 miles per hour, you can indicate with your blinker for more than 2 seconds. And after that, we use the radar in the side and the forward-facing sensor suite to try to detect if there's any objects there. We make sure it's a dashed line, and then we would execute a smooth lane change over to the next lane.
Okay. So let's see if we have any questions here. I think we got it. So we're gonna end this one.
Yeah.
All right. And then we're gonna go to lovely Julie over there, and she's gonna take us inside the car. Maybe we should just continue. Can we just continue?
Sure.
Okay. So you're gonna be in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
Okay. So Julie here is going to explain the human interface.
I am.
Right?
So
Okay.
let's go inside. So I already have it on here. The engine isn't started, but we have the head unit, the display on. So what's new in the E-Class is you see this beautiful display. So it's 12.3 inches high resolution display that we have. So large area for the map. And the whole screen and instrument cluster is just really well integrated, I think, into the cockpit and the dashboard. So here you're looking at the navigation. So this has live traffic. It'll tell you if you're going to be late to one of your meetings here.
Okay. So I don't need Waze anymore?
Waze is always good for the social component.
I have no social component. I just want to get there. Okay.
But sometimes it can report smaller incidences which maybe don't make it to the TomTom live traffic that we have.
Okay.
So what's great that you can see is your overview of your applications that you have, not only on the display itself. We also have the hard controls down here. So these keys for easy access is switching between the different applications. And you can also do this from your steering wheel. So I can press the home button on my steering wheel here. And I can use, what's new for the E-Class is these touch controls that we have on the steering wheel. So I can change
So
my
it's changing up there.
application.
Yeah.
And so then this is really easy to do and change while you're driving, so you can keep your hands on the wheel and safe while you're driving. So the left one here is for the instrument cluster, and the right one here is for the center display that we have.
Okay.
So I think you've had a chance to look through all the applications. So we have your radio and media applications. We can connect a phone. Take a look at some of these.
Oh.
We have Adele playing.
Don't play it. Facebook is gonna smack you around if you play it.
We have it on mute here, so we're good. So what's really great in the E-Class is that we've really just overdone the whole information architecture. So you'll see all the lists here on the right hand side are easy to access. So you have 6 menu options, which make it easy to, at a glance, you can see what you need to scroll to while you're driving.
Okay. Just because my daughter and I have arguments about this. So the typical scenario is that we're driving, she has a phone, I have a phone. I want to be able to take and make calls. She wants to play her playlist.
Mm-hmm.
So we both pair and we use her phone as a music source. Somebody calls, no problem. I answer and talk.
No problem. So it will mute the Bluetooth audio. So here, if I select my devices, I can connect a Bluetooth audio device in the menu. So some of the devices are already shown. We have your phone and my phone. I can add a new device.
Okay.
So once these are connected, we'll see if it will connect. I'm not sure what music I have on here, so I can pause it. Okay, I don't have any tracks available via Bluetooth on my device.
Okay.
But now if I go over to phone, now we can also pair your device as the phone device. So we'll connect to yours. I hope you don't mind.
No problem. And do you know? Maybe we should open a window.
Yeah, I can also.
It's getting a little warm, yeah. So can you tell me how many addresses can be in the address book? Because I have 10,000 on my phone.
Oh my gosh!
And
I think it's.
10,000 is not coming into my car. I can tell you that.
I would have to double check, but I think it's topped at 5,000. But
5,000?
I can confirm that for you. Yeah. So in navigation, I really want to double check because I don't know the exact number on that. But yeah, 10,000 is quite a bit of addresses you have on
So what do you think is just the coolest stuff? Because I've had the car for about a month, but then I've been traveling for most of that time. So, you know.
So if you look into the vehicle settings and the system settings, there is a ton that you can configure on your own, so you can really make it the way you like it.
Okay,
and
like
what I recommend to people is to look at this stuff when you're sitting in your driveway.
Yeah.
I mean, I think some of our dealerships do a great job of introducing you to everything and getting it set up even before you leave the dealership. But yeah, so take a look at these when you're parked. You can change the display and what it shows in the additional display area. So we've kind of split the screen up into two areas, and you can configure what goes on here. So right now you have it set to dynamic, so this means that we've defined what you'll see in each application, but maybe you're always interested in seeing the time all the time.
I'm interested in consumption.
Maybe seeing all the consumption all the time.
Okay.
So how you can see how that changed, say if I go into media again, now you'll see the consumption always displayed on the side.
That chart will always be up?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So in the radio, in the media applications, and in the system settings and vehicle settings, we still use the full screen, so you won't see it in these here, for example.
So, believe it or not, I turned in an S63 to get this. And I know you find that like rather amazing. But in the S63, there was perfume. Does this car have perfume? Do you know?
I don't know if yours has the option of it. It does.
Oh, okay.
So in here we have the scent. I can't see which scent it is right now, but this
It's probably
is
fear.
this is a really nice container that we have, and it does get illuminated. You can't see it quite right now, but at nighttime it's nicely illuminated in there.
Okay, so how do I turn that on? I've never...
So right now we have the car off, so I think I'll turn it on so we can have the climate controls. So here I'm pressing the menu button, so the hard key. This is probably the easiest way to get into the controls. And then here we have the air freshener. So right now it is set to high, so you should be able to smell some freshness. It might not be a particular scent. Sometimes it just sort of removes the odors that are in the car if you have long drives. Oh, you can kind of smell. Do you smell?
And where is it coming from?
So it will come through the vents. So like you see in this beautiful graphic that we have, it comes through the vents. We can also turn on the ionization. So this will take kind of some of the static electricity that might be gathered from the carpets, really make the air nice and fresh for you.
Like, and this just boggles my mind. So you're telling me that, like, you know, Hans or whatever is sitting in Stuttgart saying, why don't we put an air freshener? Then we can sell perfume.
I think what we always think of is like the entire user experience.
That's a good answer.
It's true though. Like, what else in your car that bothers you that we can make better? And really, the smell and the scent is one of those senses. And if we can improve it, then we find a way to offer it to our customers.
Show us how you would create a radio preset.
Okay.
Because I think everybody, first thing they do, they get in a car, they want to do that, right?
So what I did, I used the radio hard key, but there's a bunch of different ways that you can get into radio application yourself, like the home key. So I pressed this hard key here. You can also get it from your instrument cluster. So if you're driving, have your hands on the wheel, you can easily get to this. You can also use voice to activate the radio as well. So we have multiple ways that you can add a preset. I see here right now you've already saved this current station as a preset, and we're actually in the presets. So I will change the wave band. Let me go to a nice station here. So maybe I'll mute it so we can hear. So this is a station that you haven't already saved as a favorite. Looks like a foreign language public radio.
Great.
So I think the easiest way to save a radio favorite if you're in the radio is you can long press on the base screen. So this is something that's a little bit hidden for our users.
So that's number 31?
There's 30 ways. This is just one of them. So from the base screen I'm starting. If you go into the station list, so you can open this menu by either swiping with the touchpad or using the center controller. So I open the radio and I can scroll down the station list here. And if I push to the right, I'll open this options menu. And the option that we have here is to add to the presets. So once I press that, it says it's been added. So now it's number 32 of your preset list.
How do I make like number 32 number 1?
So now if I open this menu again, I open the preset list. And now I want to make 32 number 1. So I've scrolled down to the end of the list here. And I do that same thing, opening the options by pressing to the left. And now I'm going to move that station.
Okay.
So now I have the option to move. It's highlighted. And then I'll move it all the way up to number 1. Sorry,
Okay.
I'm ruining your presets. I'll fix this when we're finished.
Okay.
And now it's your number 1 favorite.
Okay.
So if I select this now, so now we're listening to the radio. And now we're in our preset view. So here you can easily skip between all of your presets. So say, you have your 10 of your favorite music channels, and if you're like myself, you're always looking for one song that particularly interesting that morning commute. So you can skip easily through all of your different presets just by turning the CC wheel or sliding your finger on the touchpad.
And these presets are cutting across the bands. I have AM, FM,
Exactly.
and XM. Right?
Yeah, you have Sirius XM in here as well. So all of the different wave bands can be mixed in here, which is really great.
Then I'm embarrassed to tell you a really dumb question, but like, let's say I don't want a preset, I want a scan. What do I do?
We actually don't have a scan feature. So if you go into the options, there's no way to kind of like scan through where I think before it would give you sort of a snippet of each radio station. So we actually don't have that feature.
So how do I tune it to another station?
So say I go back into the HD radio list.
Yeah.
And then if I just want to tune, then I'm either turning the wheel, and then this is my FM wave band.
So this is finding all the stations that it can find.
Yeah, so
Okay.
these are all the available stations. So for all of these, we'll get reception, and you have quite a bit because we're in the HD radio, so there's a lot of sub-channels here in HD radio.
Okay. And then the last question I want to ask you, or I want you to show, is the integration with an app.
Integration with an app, sure. So let me just mute the audio again. So I opened the home menu again, and we'll go to the Connect. So this is our Connect application. So you have a browser, we have our MB apps, CarPlay, Android Auto connection. So go into apps, and I think you have an internet connection already going. So you can see here with the green arrows on top that we do have internet connection.
So this car has a SIM card in it.
Yeah, so it uses its own internet has available.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it a hotspot?
It can be a hotspot. I'd have to check this particular model if you can create a hotspot. But some models do up to 4 devices. You can provide a hotspot.
Because then I'll just rack up Mercedes-Benz's data.
Exactly.
Charge, not mine.
Exactly.
Okay.
You might hit a limit where we get then slower speeds, but yeah, you can use this. So we'll look to see if we can have the weather app. So this gives you the weather information. Currently it's looking at Atherton, 3 to 12 hours ahead.
By any chance, does it have tides?
Tides?
Yeah.
Oh, like the wave tides.
Yeah.
This is actually a good question, and something that we want to integrate into our next generation. So right now, if you look into weather, we just have ski reports.
Yeah.
So you can look in Tahoe what the ski reports are, but it's quite a valid question that here on the coast that we'd also want to have the tide reports. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And so now, this is my phone, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is not going to be easy.
Do you want me to hold it?
Okay, so now, we basically take this phone app and we go to that door, where the VIN is, and we take a picture of the VIN.
Mm-hmm.
That pairs the app,
Yes.
and then I'm good to go.
Yeah, so right now we're talking about the Mercedes-Me app.
Right.
So once your car gets connected to the app, then you'll be able to do some stuff like remotely lock and unlock your vehicle. You can remotely start your vehicle, and you can check a lot of the settings that are on your car. For example, the odometer, when your next service is required.
Okay. Another ignorant question is,
There's no such thing as ignorant
well,
questions.
but you know,
All questions
is this
are
the
welcome.
one I can? Is this model? I can't. I get like a different Mercedes every couple months.
Yeah.
I can't keep them straight. Is this the model? Can I change the color of the highlights in this one?
You can. So
Okay,
that's
so
a
like-
great question. So I'll go into the vehicle, and we'll go down to
light settings.
settings.
Okay.
And this is the ambient light. So this is a new thing for the E-Class, in the 2017 E-Class, is that we have up to 64 colors that you can choose from.
Okay.
So it changes, we can't really see it in the daylight so well. Maybe I'll change the brightness, the entire vehicle. Let's see if we can.
So now my car's gonna glow yellow.
Yeah, so we can scroll up through the entire rainbow and go down to orange since it's Halloween today.
Yeah.
Get festive. Yeah, so some people ask, oh, why would you need so many colors to choose from? But maybe coming from the women's perspective, you want it to match your shoes that day.
Okay. 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 And that's the ambient when I open the door color?
It's also while you're driving too, so you'll see it along kind of highlighting this whole cockpit area. It also you can choose which areas that you want it in the front of the vehicle, and you can change the brightness individually from the front into the rear. So it's really highly configurable what the lighting looks throughout the car, and it's really beautiful.
Can I do that kind of stuff with the app, or it's all in the car?
Currently, it's all in the car for
Yeah.
the ambient light. Yes.
Okay. Okay, anything else? I have to say, you know, from a UI standpoint, I love this because most cars you're reaching to your right or to your left and you're trying to figure out which button does what.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful controller.
But
and
this button, you know, there's no doubt which moves what, right?
yeah, and the controls that they made for the E-Class are really beautiful. And what you'll see on the driver's side too, I don't know if you realize this, that I can control now your seat if I press this button here, it's highlighted.
I can control that.
Yeah,
this
now I'm controlling your
I
seat
didn't
with my
know that.
controls. Yeah.
Okay, because a lot of times I have two younger kids,
Mhm.
and so this kid the seat is leaning too far back into
yeah.
that kid,
Yeah.
and I'm telling her to move it up, and she says no, and this kid is, you know, pounding on the chair.
Squished, yeah.
So now,
Yeah, you can take control with this button here on the right
oh
side.
man,
Yeah.
that pays for the interview right there.
Great, I'm glad that I can help
Okay,
you.
what else do we got here? You know, another feature I love with this car or Mercedes is on the back of the trunk, there's two buttons, and one button closes it.
Yes.
But the other button closes it and locks the car.
Yes.
Right? That's what it does, right? So you just press that button and you walk away.
Yes. Did you also know about the foot control?
Where you so you have something in your hand, you kick underneath and it opens?
Yeah.
I did know that.
This is always sort of a funny gesture for me to do, especially if I'm wearing high heels. Just have to be careful not to lose my balance.
Okay. So I think we got a pretty good overview of the whole, like, what do you call this? The MMI or?
Yeah, so we call it the central display. So
Okay.
it's the command system in Mercedes. So
Is this car the most advanced car that someone can buy right now?
it is. So as you had the intro before for all the advanced driving systems, these are putting into this E-Class first. And also for the UI, this is where we've done a major upgrade on our UI, and it's redesigned from the previous version. So this is the first car where you'll see this UI.
Is this UI the same in the wagon version of the E-Series?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, it'll be the same. Yeah.
And the AMG version of the wagon?
Oh, that's a good question. I'd have to consult
Okay,
if it's the
okay,
same in the
okay.
AMG if they have that. But
But
they
the
might
po-
have a particular styling.
But the
right?
point is that if I get a wagon version of this car, I get all the same stuff?
Exactly, yeah. Yeah.
Because I need a wagon version.
Yeah, it's great for those weekend trips.
Yeah,
Tahoe or
yeah.
surfing, yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Let's see if there's any questions here. I like a lot of love for Mercedes here in these comments. So,
Oh, great.
Yeah. Well, I think we're good.
Excellent.
So this is Julie,
Julie Lockhart, it was very nice to meet you and talk to you today.
and she's from Canada.
Originally, yes.
I know, and we like people from Canada. So let me so this is Guy Kawasaki. Again, I'm a Mercedes-Benz brand ambassador, so full disclosure, it's part of my job.
We're happy to have you.
Somebody's got to do it. Do you ever meet any other brand ambassadors?
I haven't yet. You're my first.
So you haven't met like Roger Federer and all those people?
No.
No, like
I think a good opportunity is if I go to CES. So I've been enjoying.
you're going to CES in Las
I-
Vegas?
Yeah, I haven't.
I'm
gone
going to
yet,
CES.
but maybe this year, yeah.
CES. Okay.
CES.
All right. Bye, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this tour of a E300 4matic, the state of the art of Mercedes-Benz. Thank you.